Hey, what's up guys? I'm really excited. I've got the new Milwaukee M18 2¼ horsepower router. This is a mid-size router and it's a big deal because this is the first router we've seen in this mid-size arena with a cordless option from one of the main tool companies. This is also a big deal because we've always been very limited to only 1/4-inch shank router bits with most of the compact routers. This guy here has 1/4-inch and 1/2-inch shank collets available for it. The kit comes with both sets. I've got the 1/2-inch on the router right now. The thing that we have to remember, we're not really looking for Milwaukee to reinvent the wheel with routers. We just need the same routers that we've had access to with a cord in a cordless platform. So have they done that? I think they have. With this kit, you're gonna get your standard plunge base, works really well. And then your fixed base over here. I'll talk about this more in a little bit. They've done some nice things to this, but then we get a little bit different than the compact routers that we've been used to. We get a nice bigger 2¼ horsepower motor. It's gonna give us the ability to use that 1/2-inch shank router bit and just have a little bit more power in general. Milwaukee's also given us a really nice edge guide option to use. This will work with both bases. Very solid, attaches easily, nothing too tricky about it at all. I'm very happy with that. And then we've got our base over here. If we want to use guide bushings there. Dust extraction chute, I'll talk about in a little bit, leaves a little bit to be desired. And then of course, your battery is going to come with this kit and your wrench. First, let's take a look at the fixed base sub base. You got your standard 2 handles on both sides, great for control. This is a mid-size router, so it is possible that you'll be able to use the router with one hand and then use your hand to hold down the workpiece or something like that. They've done something really interesting in adding this strap on the base here, and it really gives you a very nice feeling of control. You can easily maneuver the router around. I really like this strap on here. They've done a nice rubber molded design around the metal case, so it feels really good in your hand using it with one hand like this. You do also have access to the switch with your thumb. If you've got bigger hands, it'll be easier to use that. For me, it's a little bit hard to turn it on, but it is easy to turn it off with just using my thumb there. And of course, we've got our micro adjustment wheel here on the side, which would be pretty typical of a router like this, to be able to adjust your router up and down. That works really well. Nothing much to say about that. Bringing the motor in and out is easy. Pretty standard stuff here. We've got a flip lever. A push button is going to release the router really easily. So everything looks great on this as far as I can tell. Nothing really new or special. Besides, I feel like the grip and the handle on here, I really like that. The fixed router base can be used with the edge guide channels on here. You'll see the holes. We can go ahead and insert those. And we've got a couple set screws on here to tighten up. So that's all set, and you've got an edge guide there on the bottom. That works really well. You can also use this base in conjunction with the dust extraction chute as well. They have given us 2 different methods of attachment for this dust extraction chute. You'll see the longer guide rods here that I'm using with the edge guide. They've also given us this smaller piece right here. So what we'll do to set that up, I'm gonna go ahead and just pop the motor housing off of this. You can't really stick it in through on that side, so you'll want to use this side over here, but it sets right in place, and then we'll want to use this guide rod section here, and it goes into the holes on this dust extraction chute, and that's what locks it in place. So we'll turn these knobs here, and now we can use that with the dust extraction chute. Here's a closer view. Loosen these, pop this out, and then our chute is going to pop out. You'll notice the holes on the chute where this locks into. Again, just a matter of setting our chute in there and locking it in place. So It attaches really quickly, and I like how it's gonna hold up really well. On the Festool routers, I've had trouble with these chutes breaking off. And here we are with the plunge base. Again, Milwaukee really didn't need to reinvent the wheel with this. They just needed to give us the same thing that's been working for a couple decades now with a plunge base, and that I think they have done. It's got a nice machined housing here. Everything locks up really well. We've got a depth adjustment rod on the side here. Works great, nothing special. And then we've also got your standard depth adjustment stop system down here on the bottom that rotates. Everything is great. The handles feel really good in the hand. Dropping the motor housing in place is a piece of cake. You can see right where it goes. This threaded rod on the side is always going to go right here. So it's very quick to line up. And then just a simple snap over here locks it in place. Got a nice up and down motion here. Feels really good going up and down. Then you can push this over to lock that in place really firmly. One minor complaint that I do have is we've got a multi-base system here, 2 bases, and I might want to use my edge guide on either of these bases. The annoying thing is these set screw knobs, there's only 2 of them that come with the kit. So if you're going to switch your edge guide between these 2 bases, you have to move these knobs over each time. That could have been better. I would have liked to have seen knobs on both bases. Not the end of the world, but it's just a small thing. So edge guide here going onto the plunge base as well, slides in very easily, and then you can lock that down. I'm going to go ahead and pull that out and show you as well here how we can put our dust extraction chute on this router also. Very simple, just set it in there. I'm going to try and do this quickly. And everything slides together. So once I lock these knobs down, my dust extraction chute is locked in there as well if I choose to use that. I would say the edge guide is a pretty all-around basic edge guide. It's what I would expect to see on a router like this. It doesn't have any micro adjustment or anything like that. It's just a matter of loosening screws. That'll allow you to move things back and forth. So nice design, nothing special there. Now, even though this is a cordless router, we may still at times want to use a vacuum hose with it. They give us 2 accessories. You get your clear plastic piece here. You could connect a hose directly to that, or they've also got a quick connect fitting right here. This has got a little clip that latches on to the clear fitting, so that will not come apart after it's together. You want to disconnect it, it's really easy. Just a simple push right there and it comes apart. You will notice right out of the box, both of these sub bases have a large hole on both of the bases. So that's going to accommodate a nice large router bit. If you want to use a guide bushing, they also give you another base, which I think is really nice that they do that. So you can change that out to use with a guide bushing. Also, this base here has all these holes going around the perimeter. You'll notice here it's got a little indentation going around here. That's because their dust extraction piece fits really nicely into that area. And then the holes around here would allow your vacuum hose to suck up the sawdust around there. Now, the one thing I will say about this plastic piece is the cavity here where it's sucking up sawdust, it's a very small channel. You're not going to be able to suck up very large pieces of wood through that. So I could see this getting clogged up pretty easily if you're taking off big chunks at all. You'll also notice here at the base of the motor housing, we've got a couple of LED diodes here. Gives us some nice light whenever we're working. And then the stop for the collar right here, that's really nice as well. Let's go ahead and chuck up a router bit and see if we can't make some sawdust. I'm gonna go ahead and take our 1/2 inch collar off. Easy operation, push button right here, locks the shaft in place, then you can just use one wrench to tighten that up. All right, I've got my Festool hose attached to this, to the dust port. You can see, you can clip that on and off very easily. And then I've got my edge guide installed with just a mortising bit. Just gonna do a shallow dado here on the end. As you see here with that bit, we got most of the dust out, struggled just a little bit in a couple spots, but definitely much better than nothing, that's for sure. That's about what I expected out of this. I think just the size of the port on this, if you're making too much sawdust, it's gonna really struggle to suck it up. So guys, my thoughts, I think Milwaukee gave us exactly what we've been asking for in a cordless compact router. We've got a fixed base, plunge base, the accessories that we need, the ability to use this with a 1/2-inch shank router bit. That's huge. And it's just got a nice fit and finish, and we can use this with the batteries that many of us are already using. So it's a win all the way around. I like it, I'd recommend it. I'm looking forward to using it more. If you guys are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. We're always trying to bring value however we can, so appreciate that. We'll see you on the next video.